Thank you very much. We are the Jazz Flex Live Band. That's our new name for this year. We decided we needed a more interesting name than just Jazz Ensemble. So the Jazz Flex Live Band, we had three soloists in that piece. We had John McNatt in the back. We had Zeno May Bridgers in front, and we had Drew Stratford up here on the next side. Our next tune we're going to sing you it's actually quite a poignant tune. It's Summertime from Porgy and Bess. George Gershwin was asked to write an opera for the Manhattan, for the Met Opera Company in New York City. He was asked to write an opera, and he said, I have a great idea. And he wrote an opera that was intended for the main characters to be black. That had never happened before. The Met said, no. He said, fine, no opera. They went, okay, because they wanted a George Gershwin opera. And we're going to be doing a really cool version of Summertime. And we did an audition process, and we have this amazing soloist, Lillian Mulder. She's going to be singing for us. She's one of our seniors. We figured with Jazz Flex Live Band, since this is a learning jazz band for people who are learning to do jazz, we figured, well, how else can we do it without a vocalist? So, Summertime. Mulder. And on, go ahead, one more. Yeah. And on tenor sax, we have Adeline Mack and Drew Stratton. One of the things you may have noticed about this band is that we have a lot of drum set players. In fact, we have 6 of them. We only do 3 songs, so we get 2 drum set players per song. It's, like I said, this is a learning jazz band. However, in this song, there's a moment for a drum solo. So all 6 of them get a chance. So watch for the flying around drum solo as they all switch places and get ready for the next one. The last tune we're going to play for you today in Jazz Flex Live Band is In the Still of the Night, originally by Cole Porter. This is arranged by Mike Komodo. Give one more round of applause to all 6 of our drum set players. Eagle on alto sax, we had Chase on trumpet, we had Drew on tenor sax, we had Christian on trombone in their solos too. So one more round of applause to the staff for all bands. So great to have all these mini concerts here. We're going to do a quick transition over to Orchestra. So Orchestra is going to be moving into the center section, and just take us a moment. We'll be right back with you. Thank you.
Good evening. I'd like to introduce the Upward Army High School Orchestra. The students that you see in front of you are in 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. This semester, I have seen so much growth in these students. We've grown in the ensemble. I've just seen so much teamwork and students compliment other students. So I'm very excited to present this program tonight. We're going to start with a piece called La Bruja, which is a Mexican waltz that will feature Josiah Barker on guitar. The next piece is called First Finger Rock, which is a perennial favorite of beginner strings in this district. This piece is special to me because this is going to bring up students who just started learning the instrument as little as 3 months ago, who are high schoolers. And one of the things that I feel in teaching that's really important is inclusion, and making sure that it's never too late to try something new, to be inspired. Yes, to pick it up. When I call those students up and pick it up extra loud, it's going to be good. Our third piece is called You Are Amazing, and that will include 7th and 8th graders from Beverly Hills Middle School and Drexel Middle School. And our very last piece is called Dance Bacchanal, and that will feature senior Gabrielle Landis on violin. And she's worked very well.
stand up. Just second may stand up.
Okay, next ensemble for this part of the concert is the concert band. Our first two tunes are two classic pieces of classical literature. The first is Mars from the Planets by Gustav Holst, arranged by Joe Bocook. And the second is selections from Symphony No. 9 from the New World by James Kurnow. Both of which are just really good interpretations of this music, and we're going to play straight through both of those for you, and then I'll talk about the third one when we get there. For the next tune, I'm going to do a little bit of an explanation. It's not often that you end your concert with the kind of song that I'm about to do. However, the message of this song is so profoundly amazing that I felt it was a great way to end the concert band's portion of the performance. The next piece is called An American Elegy. This piece is it was written by Frank Kelly after a very infamous shooting in Columbine High School in April of 1999. I remember I was in college when it happened. It was just such a shock that something so evil could happen in this world. Frank Kelly was so moved that he looked into the school and found out that they did not have their own alma mater. Much like the one we sing here, they didn't have their own. They actually didn't have one at all. So Frank Kelly offered to write them an alma mater. And while he was writing it, he was moved by whatever you wish to believe in, to write a beautiful piece that celebrated the hope that had permeated that community, that they would heal, they would rebuild, and everything was going to be okay, even while mourning their losses. An American Elegy is a beautiful statement of the hope that can come from tragedy. And I hope that you enjoy it. We will be starting with the alma mater before we perform the song.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming out tonight. That first chart was Beginning to See the Light, classic big band chart. We heard from Stephen Gard on alto. Alicia Nunez Perez on keyboard. Allie, stand up so they can see you. Allie, stand up so they can see you. There we go. Yeah. And that was Jackson Hilburn to lead us off on bass in the beginning. With some rock and lead trumpet by John McNabb back there. So, thank you. Our next chart is the great Chick Corea tune called Spain. We're going to hear from Emily Fishbach to lead us off, and Andrew Serafian on tenor, and we'll hear from Josiah Marker on guitar. right, while the percussionists are getting set back there, our last chart is a Sammy Nestigo hard bop tune called Pressure Cooker. And we'll hear from Andrew Serafian again on this one on tenor sax, and Joel on drum set, and Emily Fishbach will lead us in again on keys.
I'd like to introduce the Upper Darby High School String Ensemble. This is an ensemble made up of our select string students who enjoy playing their string instrument, who excel at it, and have an interest in improving their technique. We will be starting out tonight with a piece called The Gift, followed by Eine kleine Nachtmusik by Mozart.
Before we move on with our final major ensemble of the evening, I would like to acknowledge a group of people who we would not be able to have the success in our musical programs without them. And those are our seniors. So I could have every senior in the ensemble on the bleachers and sitting in front of you, and wind ensemble could stand up and be acknowledged. We'd really appreciate it. For some of them, this is their last concert. For all of them, I'm hoping it's not the last time they're a musician. One of the things I always talk about is that my goal is not to create a great wind ensemble, is to create a group of lifelong musicians. And I'm hoping that myself and Ms. Nelson and Mr. Geist were able to help them get to that point. And I really appreciate the fact that all these seniors trusted me 2.5 years ago when I showed up and literally pulled the music out from underneath that they were playing and said, nope, we're not playing that, we're playing this. And I really appreciate the fact that they trusted us when I did that, and they've been trusting me ever since. I know that Ms. Nelson feels the same, and I'm sure Mr. Geist also, because he came in about the same time that I did to cover the Royal Blues. So one more round of applause, please, for all these amazing seniors. I'm going to explain the wind ensembles portion of the concert, and then we're going to just get right into it. So one of the things that's been missing for a while now from the ensemble that I've noticed by looking through old programs is that a lot of times the wind ensemble here has been playing what I like to call symphonic band music. There's nothing wrong with that. However, there is a world of different styles and genres of literature in the wind ensemble literature. So tonight, we're going to play for you 3 different tunes. The first one is called a wind band standard. That is Festive Overture, original by Dmitri Shostakovich and arranged for band by Hunsberger. The second tune we're going to play for you is a wind ensemble piece, specifically for wind ensemble. That is written by Julie Giroux. She is a former, she used to work with Hollywood. She actually was the orchestrator for television shows that a lot of you might know, like Knight Rider, A-Team, and a bunch of those 80s, television shows that we used to love to hate because they were so bad they were good. And she's now a full-time wind band composer and will be the next composer for the next Elder Scrolls video game. So we're really excited to have Julie Giroux's music. That's wind ensemble music, and that's in Godspeed. And then our final tune is for just the wind ensemble is a tune called Arabesque, which is based on a bunch of Arabic melodies and Arabic stylings of performance, and it's all kind of mushed together by Samuel Hazo. And that one is a symphonic band piece. So I'm going to give you some homework to try to see if you can figure out what the difference is between a wind band standard, a wind ensemble piece, and symphonic band piece. And we will start with Festive Overture. as the students are making their way up to the stage, we are doing one last combined piece for the night. And I'll explain that one first. That is, the piece is called To the Max, parentheses, on the truck. And the reason why it's called that is because when it was commissioned, it was actually commissioned at my grad school the first year that I was there getting my master's degree in conducting. And the American Band College decided was what they did every July 4th was they would get on 3 flatbed trucks and drive down the streets of Ashland, Oregon, and play a piece called On the Mall, which is a very famous march. And they decided that they needed their own march, the American Band College March. So they went to one of my personal favorites, and may he rest in peace, Robert W. Smith. Talked about him at the holiday concert, remember? He suddenly passed away at a very young age back in October. I couldn't resist putting one more Robert W. Smith piece on our concert this year. This was a lot of fun. Now, here's the fun part. Remember what I said? That the piece was played on flatbed trucks. Like, we sat on the trucks, and there were trucks involved, including their truck horns. So he actually wrote the piece so that you could play it with truck horns. Alan, just so they're not surprised, Alan, just give us a good blast. Go for it. So we have an actual truck horn for this piece, and I want you to be aware of it. Now, before we go, there's a couple of little pieces of logistics I want to get over so that we get it said. Many hands make light work. So I need everybody here, I'm going to say it again, I need everybody here when we're done to grab chairs and stack them on the chair racks. Metal stands go on the V-shaped racks, and the plastic stands go on the slanted racks. All right? And I have people, Jessica and Sharon are going to help me with that when we're finished. And then I also need people to help take percussion equipment back to the band room. Trekking it all the way here to the gym is actually a chore from the band room because we have to go around the whole building to get here. So please, and thank you, understand that we're going to try to get it cleared out of here as quickly as possible because they are having award ceremonies in here like pretty much right away. So I appreciate your patience with that. The next thing I'm going to say is that I want your kids to join marching band. I did that for Delaney. I don't know if she's here or not. She loves when I do that. If you see all these musicians sitting on the stage right now, minus our seniors, tear. I'm serious. I would love to have every single one of these musicians sitting here right now performing in the marching band. Why? Because we're awesome. We're 3-time state champions. An information form went out to you. I have been picking on some kids that are already in this band about doing it and having their friends go after them because positive peer pressure is an awesome thing. But I want your kids in marching band. Right now, we have 80 signed up. My goal is 95 to 100. If I can get your child who's not signed up to be signed up in my marching band for next year, we're doing an awesome field show. It is a twist on Robin Hood. It is where Lady Marian is the thief of Nottingham, which I think is a pretty awesome way to kind of put it. The show is called Lady Marian, and very excited to put that on for U.S. bands. We have a big season lined up, and I think we're going to have a really great time. But I need your kids in marching band. There's a form that's been emailed out. I'm going to email it out again so that you get that. I know that this is a long spiel, but this is a big, important thing to me because the first thing that the public sees of this music program is encore singing Star Spangled Banner and the marching band putting on stuff at the football games. And those things have gotten us recognized, and all kinds of support has been coming our way this year. Some things you're not even aware of. One of the great things that came, Lila is standing right by it, our brand new Signature Series marimba. You have no idea how excited the kids were to unbox and build that thing. We have many other things that have been coming from the district, and it's because the music programs here have been putting ourselves out and saying, hey, look, we're awesome, and we're something amazing here at Upper Darby, and it's starting to be recognized. We also need you to keep advocating for us at school board meetings and being a part of UDBOP and CMA. All those organizations are fantastic for volunteering. If you're interested, Ms. Halvin is up here for CMA, and Astrid Clarici is up here for UDBOP. Please talk to them. We need as many of you a part of this as possible. And the more volunteers we have, the better things we go. More hands make light work. Please consider volunteering. We're not asking all of your time. We're asking for some. but I do want your kids to join marching band. These kids have been amazing tonight. Can we have one more round of applause, please, for Royal Blues and the Jazz Flex Lab Band? For the Orchestra and String Ensemble. And finally, for the Concert Band and Wind Ensemble. On behalf of my colleagues, I thank you very much for being here tonight. Feel free, if the feeling moves you, to join in with us on this march. To the max. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. Again, if we could just steal them to get things packed up and put away, all the stuff ready to go. Again, metal stands, V-racks, plastic stands, slide racks. Please help with percussion equipment. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.